What's he meant to do if Boston picks
That's
him
why
up?
I stayed with you, bro. That's why we're still doing this right now.
I didn't know that was said. That might have played a role in us being together. Oh. I need more popcorn, baby.
I'm not sure how I feel about this episode. I know they need sponsorship for their shows to run, but all that Subway thing, it was a waste of time. We could have done with more drama. And I am here for Shan being humbled and Gabby as well, because these girls have been mean girls and the other girls have been complaining bitterly about them. You had Boston and Mia complain about them, and you have the latest bombshells complain about them. So to see them humiliated by the evidence being shown to the boys and the boys hearing what the girls have been saying behind their backs, I'm here for that. It was about time. It was about time that Ross realized what Shan had been saying about him. And I hope this leads to their breakup. I know he needs to be in a couple, but he can couple up with Emma until the very end. He doesn't need Shan. Shan needs to go home. The audacity to say all those nasty things about Jotham behind his back and then be nice to his face doesn't make sense to me. And I'm happy that the guys finally get to see what the bombshells have had to put up with, because at the end of the day, all they heard were the bombshells complaining, but they never actually, at most times, were able to have first-hand sort of insight into what was going on. So I can't wait for movie night to continue. Anyway, I digress. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. We're still trying to get to 6,000. Click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island Australia, Season 7, Episode 23. So we pick up with everyone having said goodbye to the latest people to be dumped. Obviously, you had the 4 islanders dumped, and so everyone is feeling some type of way because, you never expected this. I think they expected 1 or 2 people to go, but they didn't expect the whole group to be dumped. So that was a shock. You have Dylan having a chat with Gabby and sort of saying, Gabby's asking him, did you think I was going to pick you? What did you think I was going to do? And it's like, Gabby, you were never going to go back to Alex because Alex wasn't giving you the time of day. So your only other option was Dylan. So Dylan is a consolation prize. If Dylan was not in the villa, I don't know what you'd have done. And so I think production brought Dylan in for Gabby. That's the impression that I get. Anyway, you have Sean having a chat with Ross in the teepee. They're excited that they're coupled up. It's been a long wait and they're happy they're finally back together. Do I think they're a genuine couple? No. I think Sean wants to be with a guy that she knows she has security. I think she picked this guy. I said this from day one, that she picked Ross because she thought none of the other girls would like him. So the idea that you had Boston come in and show interest in him is something she wasn't banking on. And so now she's going to make sure that she sinks her teeth into him and nobody else is able to steal him from her. That's the impression that I get. Mick is having a conversation with Emma. He's excited that he's now in a couple with her. He's happy she's picked, he's got to couple up with her. She's excited that he's picked her, and she's grateful that he chose her. And it's like, there's no way production are going to send both girls from New Zealand immediately. They were going to dump everybody else because they've been in the villa longer, but they were never going to bring the New Zealand girls and then dump them the day after. I don't think so. So you have Tamara and Mateo go to the terrace. They're having a chat about their connection. You have Mateo try to lean in for a kiss, and Tamara says no. She's feeling conflicted because it hasn't been smooth sailing, so she's having a lot of pressure. And it's like, girl, you came onto Love Island. You can't say you are having too much pressure to explore a connection. This is the purpose of the show. This is the concept of the show. What did you expect to do on Love Island? Just walk around and be pretty and be a model? No, you were expected to develop a connection with someone. You were expected to be in a romantic couple. So if you're not ready for that, you should have told your friends, don't save me, save Boston or save Mia, and I'll go home. Because at the end of the day, you don't bring anything to the show outside of the fact that you are there to pacify Gabby. That's the only reason why you were saved, so that you could pacify Gabby. So I'm not buying the nonsense. For her to cry and him to console her, I think if he felt like he was going to get a bad edit, this is why he decided to sort of backtrack and sort of try to apologize to her. But I don't see them as a romantic couple. I think they're just two people that are just there, just whiling time until the show comes to an end. You have her go to speak to, her other minions. She goes to speak to Gabby and Shan because that's the clique. And so I don't get these girls. Yes, they are friends, but they have the wrong type of friends that a person needs. You need people that are going to, so you're going to confide in, and are going to be brutally honest with you, and genuinely honest, and genuinely have your best interest at heart. And these girls are just there to pacify each other and sort of hype up each other's stupid. That's my opinion. Anyway, the islanders get ready for bed, and before they even go to sleep, you have this girl Yana going under the duvet for Kai. I love that she was asked by by Jade, "Are you finished?" Because it doesn't make sense. This guy has cheated on you before you enter the villa. In the villa, he's cheated with two girls, and you're going under the duvet for him to do what? To really do what? So I'm happy that everybody else was laughing at her. Like, what the hell the hell is wrong with you? You're not even waiting for the lights to be off. You're just ready to go as soon as you get into bed. This is their relationship. I feel like Yana and Kai's relationship is only based on the physical in the moment, especially for Kai. And that's it. And the moment the physical is taken care of, they move on. And it's like, I don't know, it's embarrassing. In the morning, you have Tamara go for another chat with, Mateo. She's spoken to the girls and she's told the girls that I don't feel anything there. I need to break things off. And it's like, girl, it's barely 12 hours. You coupled up with this man. So you knew you didn't like this man. Why didn't you give somebody else a shot? You knew you didn't like him, but you're comfortable sleeping in a bed with him. This is why you coupled up with him, not because you wanted a romantic connection. I don't think so. Because she could have even picked Bailey, of all people, but she didn't. She picked somebody she didn't like and she couldn't stand. So Boston was proved right. I'm going to die on that cross. Anyway, in the morning she's busy saying, she doesn't want to give him false hope. He doesn't get her. And so they sit down for a chat and she says, we're not working. Mateo saw this coming. He was complaining that I don't want to be used as a placeholder for someone just to feel safe. And so I'm happy that they had this chat for her to talk about the too much pressure. It's not too much pressure, girl. You're on Love Island. What else do you expect? She said she shut down. And it's like you shut down way after, not even after, but maybe just before you coupled up with Mateo. I said it before, I'll say it again. This girl coupled up with Mateo because she wanted to make Mick jealous. She didn't realize that Mick is not the one or the two to do the stupid games for, because he didn't buy into whatever she was trying to sell. So she's now stuck in this couple with someone she can't stand because the guy she liked doesn't have the time of day for her. You have, the islanders just hanging around the villa. While they're hanging around the villa, you have Jade receive a message. Girls, feel like a sexy snack? Today, the boys will battle it out in a beauty pageant with a difference. It's like, oh, what are they going to do? And you will decide the winner, who is to be crowned the first ever Mr. Sublime. Hashtag saucy. And it's like they have, an ad they want to run. That's it. They will have an ad. They will go. It's a product placement because they've been having the same drinks, which I assume that company is sponsoring the show. And now they have Subways coming in with Mr. Sublime. The guys got to put on these, speedos, and then they sort of strutted their stuff. After the walking, you had Gabby sort of make these eyes when Jotham came out, and it's like, Gabby, be a bit more mature, be a bit more mature. So after the modeling, you have the guys come out individually and perform their special trick or their special talent. Jotham did a backflip, and Gabby said she's already seen this. She saw this when they went to their hideaway, and it's like, Gabby, where was he doing the backflip? Because you can barely swing a cat in that hideaway. So I don't understand. I think she was just trying to be messy, just to sort of make it seem like it's not special. Mick did a poem where he was joking about all the girls. The girls seemed to like it, but hey, they always like it until they don't. Kai, we did this trick where he had this plywood and he was just, hammering nails into it. It didn't make sense. Mateo did an origami which took forever, as though he was going to go and look for the paper before he made the origami. Dylan did sort of this kissing thing where he said, last season his tongue was the main attraction, so he wants to show that he's grown and, it's not the main feature. And it's like he must have had a lot of kissing competition with girls to learn how to kiss properly. Anyway, he called the girls out. He started off with Jade, and it's like he's being messy. He really is, because he knows Gabby can't stand her, and Gabby wasn't happy with that. And then eventually went on to Shan before he kissed Gabby. Gabby was excited. I was like, good for you. Ross played the guitar with jokes. It was good. The girls then decided to crown Ross the winner, and it's like, I don't think he was the winner, but if that makes all of you happy, hey, whoop-de-doo. Anyway, you then have everyone go and sit down for it, just to relax in the villa. Jotham went and had a chat with Gabby. If you look up the word hypocrite, you'll find Gabby's name right next to it because she sat down with Jotham and she complained bitterly, why has it taken you so long to speak to me? It's like, girl, day one you told him you didn't want to speak to him. Which is it? You don't want to speak to him or you want him to pull you for a chat? Make it make sense because at the moment it's not. So she complained about that and then she said, your girl is not even checking on me. What sort of girl is she? And it's like, because maybe you girls are isolating them. This is why they're not coming to you for a chat. And I think Gabby was just looking for anything and everything so that she could complain and sort of, be the victim. You used me to stay in the villa until your person came. And it's like, please, Gabby, this guy gave you a heads up in advance that I don't like the way our relationship is going. You decided not to hear him and do whatever you wanted to do. And when that sort of backfired, now you're blaming him. You were very rude when you said you don't like the high highs and the low lows. You were sort of judging me. No, he was just telling you that I can't deal with this. And it's up to you to process it how you want to process it. Gabby doesn't know how to receive constructive feedback. That's the problem she has. Because she then went to her girls and she was complaining, he gave me puppy dog eyes, he's nice guy thing, is a nice guy act. And it's like, Gabby, sit down. I'm independent and I'm the most independent person here. And if he can't handle me, then he can never handle anyone else. And it's like, you're the most toxic person. If he can't handle you, then maybe he deserves less. And then you had Jade and Jotham having a chat with them, sort of checking in, and Jade sort of asking, how did that go? And she was told, Gabby said, you are not checking in on her. And it's like, why? Why would I be checking in on you? I'm with the guy that you're with. I know you're going to be upset, so I'm going to step away and not cause you any distress. I think, she was just being messy, Gabby, and she went on to people that feed her mess. You then have Shan receive a message. Islanders, it's Love Island's night of nights. You all have VIP access. Fling on your red carpet fit, pop the popcorn, and prepare your most outrageous, shocked faces. And then it's tonight. Tonight is movie night. Hashtag sinfully good. Hashtag box office smashed. And it's about to be messy. It's about to be messy. And I think some of these people were kept on the show for this specific reason. I don't get why they didn't have movie night before they dumped people. It would have made sense because they would have had more material and more for reaction. But then I guess production wanted to minimize who they played and who they didn't. And maybe the people that went home didn't have as much negativity as the ones that they kept back. So as soon as this is announced, you have Shan run and apologize immediately to Ross. She started kissing him, she started cuddling him. I'm so sorry. She apologized to Mick. And it's like, what exactly has she been saying? Why does she feel the need to sort of apologize so many times? She kept apologizing until the boys' antennas went up like, why are you apologizing so many times? What exactly have you been saying? Do we need to worry? And so it was good that the guys got to see who Shana is, and because she's been playing the sweet girl, and now they get to see who she is. Anyway, the Islanders get ready for the night. You have the boys sort of talking about the fact that this is going to be interesting to watch because they are all curious as to why Shan kept apologizing. You have the two bombshells, poor Jade and Emma. They were talking amongst themselves because the girls were hyping up Gabby and saying, "Don't cry in front of the guys. When you want to cry, cry with us. Don't vent in front of them. Just come and vent." And so I agree with Jade that the girls are plotting her downfall. They should have been telling her, you do not need to react the way you reacted. You need to pacify yourself and you need to sort of take the higher ground. But they were hyping her up that we know you're going to have a spiral, but when you spiral, do it in private, don't do it in front of the boys. That's the impression that I get. The boys came out, the girls came out. So once they all sat down and picked up their drinks, you then had Tamara receive a text message that says, Islanders, welcome to movie night. Hope you're sitting comfortably. Ladies first, which clip would you like to watch? Hashtag roll the tape, hashtag pass the popcorn. And it's like, it's about to go down. Shan was very anxious, and I think she wanted to get it out of the way. That way, when the drama begins, she will sort of have brushed hers out of the way. So they played, look who's shit talking. And that was, the highlights of Shan's messiness and toxicity. Because it was everything she said. I don't think we got to see the half of it. I think there's way more than what we got to see. But the guys are now, I understand, will fully have an idea of who she is. Her first clip was her sort of talking about Jotham, how he's boring, how he's not worth Gabby, and Gabby deserves more. And Jotham sort of questioned that. How can she be saying that when I thought we were friends? The next clip was of, Jotham saying he's afraid of Gabby. And, everyone, I think, in the villa was afraid of her. And then there was Gabby dissing Jotham and talking about his manhood. He didn't seem bothered by it. He didn't seem bothered by it. And it's like, if his manhood is that small, why were you sort of, crashing out about him? Why would you crash out about that when you can get better? Make it make sense. So Gabby was just was lying there. I think she was just saying something to make herself feel good. You had Meg saying Gabby wishes she's a Kardashian from Wish, which she is. I think she thinks she's the main star of the show. And so for her to sort of have a go at Jade, I didn't get, because Jade and Emma were also, dissing Gabby and just saying Gabby's a bit too much. She does too much. She doesn't need to be over the top. For her to say, I don't need clout. Yes, you said they couple up with Dylan because I need clout. I don't need clout. All I need to do is just go outside and take a picture and I'll get the clout. And it's like, Gabby, no. You need clout. If you didn't need clout, you didn't need to be on the show. You wouldn't need to be on the show. So the idea that you got on the show and then you're now lying that, oh, I didn't come here for clout. Okay, you came here for a relationship, but you also came for clout. You had Meg was, talking about stealing Tamara, that anytime you wanted, you could steal Tamara from this guy Mateo. And I think he could have, if he really wanted to, he could have. He was right. Maybe an hour was minimizing it, but he could have. For Kai to sort of talk about Shan and Ross and say they're fake, I get it. I think if you watch them, you know that they're fake. And then for Shan to be complaining bitterly that, oh, he's saying we're fake. Production said, hold our beer. Then they showed Shan dissing her best of the best highlights of her dissing, Ross and saying, Ross, my family will be questioning why I continue to explore a connection with him. He doesn't deserve to be with me. I deserve better. And it's like, if you deserve better, why are you on the show? Why are you on the show? Because on the show you're not going to get the best of the best unless you're there for clout. I'm happy the guys got to see it, and I'm also happy that the guys recognize that there is still a division. Even though Mia and Boston have gone home, there's still a division. And personally, I feel like the problem is Shan and Gabby. Tamara, I think, is a follower, but I think those two are the highlights of the toxicity, because we all thought it was Isabel. Isabel is gone, but they're still doing the same thing. So they are as bad as Isabel, if not worse. Anyway, I can't wait for part 2. Thanks, guys, for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Click on the link in my video to watch my review from episode 22. Bye, everyone.